You know that there are two flags. This one is for the people at Harrow Bay, and there is one for Mission Bay. I'm very happy to hear that everything is now ready, and you have arranged, as we agreed in Vila, Don Fortuna, you will raise two flags. So this is the big flag, our flag, flag of Vanuatu, and you will fly the flag on the 30th at 12 o'clock midday. We agree with the arrangements that you have made. In Vila, we are very happy about this. I want to ask a question about the raising of the flag. Who will raise the flag? Will it be the local chief, or will it be a teacher? As always, the chief is the big and important person of the village and must lead and be with his people when the flag is raised.
Okay, me good, Claudia. Thank you.
Thank you. 29th of July, 1980, everyone, he come one day.
In northern Malekula, as in some other places, the coming independence was widening the gap between government and opposition supporters. Political divisions were helped along by extremists and the bitter propaganda of Jimmy Stevens' Radio Vemerana.
First point, lo Yumi, lo meeting, say Yumi stop long Malaysia, Yumi nothing, say Yumi stop long all political party.
There were genuine attempts to foster peace and unity. However, 8 days after this meeting in Lakatoro, there was an attempted insurrection in the neighbouring town of Norsuk.
What's happened to us? We mustn't create two people, but we must create one people on Malekula. We must be one. We are sorry and weary about the present state of life on Malekula and our other islands in the New Hebrides.
You may stop inside, yeah? You want me every chief, every leader?
All of us here, all the chiefs and every leader must see that we make the correct decision to bring peace to District Number 2.
District Number 2.
I ask that we think carefully, every chief in the villages, every custom chief, all of us must think deeply so that we can bring back peace and unity to CD2.
Long CD2.
In Vila, the demonstrations and marches were orderly, even if they were sometimes senseless. Francophone fears were expressed when French schools were closed and teachers and students joined in a march to protect their language. Trilingualism is guaranteed under the Constitution, which also says the principal languages of education are English and French.
Now supposed to follow metropolitan power, French or England. By Tufala still help them national education from you have this after independence. Bifala or teacher, Philip said now ya government from you have this take a man Bifala long all responsibility where Bifala is supposed from Holland long side from social cultural life from country from Yumi.
Some Francophone villages were fearful of the changes they had been told would take place after July 30. They wouldn't be raising the flag and refused even to talk with the celebration team. The same problem was experienced trying to film Francophone and opposition opinions, and most times access was denied.
Good morning, Chief Levaka.
Sorry, you all right?
Yes.
Yes. Meet Tora. I am David. We have come to see you about independence, and it's coming closer now.
Might you say independence and become close up now?
So
What are your views? Can you tell us why some people have said that a flag cannot be raised at Melcisi? Can you tell us more about this? Thank you. I can't explain what the chief has said. He said that the flag could have been raised at Melcisi. But because of what Vincent Bulacon said in our meeting, that after independence, many things will happen. The chiefs are worried and not happy about what he has said. He said the French schools will finish and the New Hebrides government will not help. The supply of medicine to Melcisi will stop. He said the New Hebrides government will not help in hospitals and schools. The people and chiefs are really worried because they now think that the New Hebrides government, Walter Leahy's government, will only help English medium schools. But on the French side, what Bulacon has said may become true. They don't know, but they are worried about this and the big things at Melcisi. The chiefs think that if the flag is raised at Port Napni, they will support it. They will go, and Chief Domenico will go to Port Napni with his people. But some of the chiefs think that people from Melcisi will not go because of what Bulacon has said.
Francophone students at Villa's Technical High School have been working hard for many months on their contribution to independence. They created a mural on the House of Assembly and are making gifts to be presented to the representatives of other nations coming here for the founding of the Republic.
À partir d'une photographie qui vient du musée d'Oxford et que nous supposons venir de la collection de Cook,
their teacher, Jackie Baudin, explains how his students are making 70 copies of a null-null. The design was taken from a photograph of the original Chiefs Club in the Captain Cook collection at Oxford University.
Les élèves du lycée technique ont donc commencé la production en série de 70 bâtons de chef, copie d'un modèle ancien.
Each time a job is finished or another shipment arrives, independence somehow takes on a new reality. It becomes more tangible, and the day is getting closer. Shipments of food and fuel don't seem to worry the rebels in Santo. The blockade is a failure. It's impossible to police, and supplies and supporters are coming in by sea and air from outside Vanuatu. There's a well-run two-way route between Vila and Santo, and you can even book in advance by French police radio. Obviously, some copra is being shipped out of here, and people are arriving from other islands. So-called provisional government leaders have come to help Jimmy Stevens try to impress the Anglo-French special envoys in their talks with the rebels. The negotiations were unsuccessful.
But is that what we want?
That's where.
But we're here, you see, to talk to Santo.
Oh, I see.
With Vanuatu's independence less than a month away, the British Marines still in Vila, and no sign of military action against them, the rebels appear to be confident. They can now try to spread the secession into other major islands in their area.
I think the government stand is very clear. As far as Constitution is concerned, we're not prepared to see any changes to the Constitution. As far as the date of independence is concerned, we're not prepared to negotiate. But as far as discussing possible decentralized power of the government, we will be willing to sit down and discuss, because that is, as far as the Constitution is concerned, is something which we can actually discuss before independence. A meeting has been called between the two resident commissioners and myself, mainly because there is a rumor that there is going to be an attempt to take over the district commissioners in Nakatoro tonight. My information is that the opposition in Santo have sent some people into North Malakula, and that the opposition to the government in Malakula have organized to take over North Malakula and declare it part of Santo, and hope to control the airstrip in Nosup and use Nosup as the administrative center. My understanding is that the Hercules plane will take the British PMU and some of the French PMU now to Lakatoro.
At Nosup, rebels have taken down the British and French flags, and the nearby government town of Lakatoro is deserted. The schools, shops and other services are closed, and most of the people have been frightened away. But the airport at Nosup is firmly under government control.
You try and have a look at your passenger book.
Swift action of the PMU means that a secession attempt at northern Malakula will be short-lived. Stolen flags from Nosup and the Vemerana and Nagriamel flags fly beside the roadblock at Wallerano. For a long time, government party supporters around the area have been stopped on the roads and harassed in their villages. One rebel proudly tells of what they did last night.
Last night
we destroyed food belonging to Vanuatu supporters.
Last night
we also destroyed gardens, everything inside the gardens like bananas, taros, things like that. This morning we started again. We cut down large coconut trees to block the passage.
Much of the violence is aimed at property rather than directly at people. Part of this English language school was burnt down. It was done at night, so nobody was hurt. But it will be a long time before the villagers have enough confidence to let their children come back to school again. Buildings are damaged, food and furniture stolen, vehicles broken, and people are being threatened and hurt.
Yes, all stuff right yet from where...
Some of the moderates have been patrolling the roads by truck. They tie headbands on and are trying to kill some people from Tautu.
Some people belong Tautu.
By and by, you fellows celebrate independence long place here?
Yes, people I think will celebrate
yes,
independence.
We think that we will celebrate independence at Lakatoro.
But people are afraid a little bit. But people I try.
We are a little afraid, but we will try our best, because this thing does not come 2 times. It will only come once. So we're very happy to be part of our independence.
The last visit by the celebration team. They've been travelling for months and never sleeping 2 nights in the same place. Independence Week won't only be for Vila. Everyone can share in the celebrations. Communities will be gathering together in more than 90 centres throughout the islands to join in the ceremonies, enjoy themselves, raise the flag and become citizens of the Republic of Vanuatu.
The yellow color is there. It's not there as a mere decoration, but has meaning. It represents Christianity, something that the missionary has brought, and many of them died and have been buried in our islands. The yellow color is also designed to represent the shape of our country. The next color is black. Black represents the people of Vanuatu. The next color on our flag that we raise up on the 30th of July is red. The color red represents blood, unity. The color green also has its meaning. If you look around our islands, you will notice that everything is green.
By mid-July, independence fever has taken over the whole country, throughout the islands as well as in Vila.
In the
With Independence Day little more than a week away, French helicopters suddenly appeared in Villa. They were on their way to clear the airstrip at Santo. The French and British had agreed to act together at last. After 5 frustrating weeks, the British Marines were moving out and going to Santo, together with an equal number of French paratroopers, freshly arrived from Noumea. The troops were to take Santo town without a shot being fired, but the frustrations were to continue because the Marines were ordered not to leave the town or to make any arrests. Rebel groups still moved freely throughout Santo. The stalemate was to remain until after independence. In mid-August, the British and French force in Santo was replaced by soldiers of the Papua New Guinea Defence Force. July 26 opened Independence Week with a march to the waterfront, led by the Papua New Guinea Defence Force Band. At the opening ceremony, Chief Graham Kalsakau, on behalf of the Ifate custom chiefs, welcomes visitors from all the other islands of Vanuatu and from abroad.
All chiefs welcome all different islands. All beginning, all man welcome on different islands, don't take part.
Envoys of nearly 40 nations came to Villa to witness the birth of the Republic and to bring the good wishes of their governments and people. The Secretary of State for Foreign Affairs, Olivier Stern, came on behalf of the President of France and His Royal Highness, the Duke of Gloucester, as the personal emissary of Queen Elizabeth II. Together they represent the condominium in the last days of Britain and France's more than 70 years of joint rule. Naval vessels from Papua New Guinea, Fiji, France, New Zealand, the United States and Australia are making goodwill visits to Vanuatu. Australia's Minister for Foreign Affairs, the Australian Consul and the captain and crew of HMAS Yarra host a reception on board the ship in Villa. Australia has been the only country to maintain a consulate in the New Hebrides, and exactly at independence, when Vanuatu became a member of the British Commonwealth, Australia upgraded its representation to the status of a High Commission. After the reception, HMAS Yarra took Father Walter Leaney on a sentimental journey back to his village in northern Pentecost. The protocol and politics of Villa can be forgotten amongst friends and family, and with a grandmother who, for a while, can share a very personal independence celebration.
Nanay van mulay ka dokahangan na van mulay la wang. Wangan baloan na kay buwat main de kehibo. Kamaya lun na hangya. Puri ka phaya lun.
Throughout the islands, Independence Week is whatever people want it to be. They can all celebrate in their own way. There are competitions for just about everything: string bands, charity queens, children's events and sports. In Tongoa, the only place to play soccer is on the airstrip.
Come on, let me